Oh, Mickey, you're so fine, you blow my mind. Hey, Mickey. Hey, Mickey.
Very offbeat clapping, but you know, it works. Hello, cinema peeps.
Hello.
Today's sponsored drink is brought to you by Crystal Light Lemonade.
Not really, but yes, non-spawn, but in our minds. In our 10-time award-winning, 11-time nominated
podcast. Yes.
That's gonna be the ongoing joke now.
I know. Until we actually succeeded our goal.
Yep. And then it'll be the 12-time award-winning, 13-time nominated podcast.
Honestly, we get nominated once, and we're just going to be like, listen, we were nominated once! We'll hold it over everyone's head. But hello! How's everyone doing today?
It's a beautiful day out today.
Is it?
It did. It is. It started off a little rainy, but the sun came out and now it's nice. Yeah, I've got one of those, like, I think I've told you this before, but I've got one of those like sticker film things that you can put on your window that's got like the prism patterns. So I've got like all these beautiful rainbows around my room right now. It's making me very happy.
So Instagram friendly, aren't you?
Right? So aesthetically pleasing.
Yeah. I think it's sunny. I don't know. I'm hiding in the crypt today, so.
Yes, you're down in the crypt.
I'm down in the crypt. Yesterday, though, it looked very gloomy. My mom said it was not. She said it was deceiving, that it was fine. I was like, you know what? I'm just going to take it as a gloomy day, and I made myself some soup.
Nice.
I had my soup, and I was like...
Man, soup is the best. My mom actually made some homemade chicken noodle soup the other day. She gave me some. It was delicious.
Homemade. Mine was just out of a box.
Well, hey, that's still good too.
Put some water, mix it together, chicken noodle soup.
Bam. Chicken noodle.
And like half a bag or more of crackers that I probably didn't need. But you know what? What's soup without some motherfucking crackers?
Right? I just remember my grandfather, he always, whenever he was looking after my sister and I, he would make us chicken noodle soup, but then he'd like put the alphabet noodles in there special for us. So we'd have like alphabet noodles as well. He'd pour in some cream, and then the last finishing touch was he'd take like a whole stack of crackers, crush them together, and just put it in our soup for us.
It sounds yummy.
Yep.
Especially all them crackers. I like that. I like all them crackers.
I used to love eating, like, did you ever have crisper crackers, like the crispers?
I don't think so.
I loved those in my soup. Those were the best. Those are like crack.
The truth is, it's just like crack. Oh
Hence
my
cracker.
God. That just reminds me when we went to school in Vancouver and we were on the SkyTrain, and I think it was your grandma who sent you a card. Just like this little like, hey, love you. Here's $2 for coffee. And I immediately was like, ha, that's going straight to cocaine. And like the lady across heard us and gave us the weirdest look. And I'm like, oh, no, we don't, no. And she's like, okay. I was like, oh my God. And I think I made another comment about pot, and I was like, fuck. And the same lady's just looking at us. I was like, hey, we need to get the fuck off this train. Let's just get to school. I'm done with today already.
Oh, the beauty of being a film student, or just any college student, I guess.
The beauty of hearing people's conversations that you wish you never did.
Right? Oh, that's what the SkyTrain was good for.
Yeah. I was just always upset that, like, it only ran till, like, just before midnight, which made no sense to me, because I was like, yo, there's nobody on that train. You could keep it running all night.
Right?
But at least, like, in the evening, they did have, like, a night bus system. Is it complicated as fuck? Yes. So I remember we tried to get home one time, and I think it took us an hour. The route, like, the quickest bus still took us through downtown and, like, back, and we're like, are we ever gonna get back? And you're like, don't worry, I have my phone. I'm tracking where the bus goes. I'm like, okay.
I feel like the longest bus route we took was when we were having to film at Chris's place for like Wedge and stuff like that. And you and I had the bounce board because it wouldn't fit in Chris's car. So we had to take that back to the school, and we had to take the bus. And it rained. So we were soaking wet, because there's a picture I think you took of me like drenched on the bus. And it took us forever to get back to school. Yeah, it was nuts.
So, I mean, I guess that's nice of them to do that. But like I said, it's some weird maze of paths and tracks. And you're like, how do I just get home?
Yeah, it definitely makes you not take for granted the fact that the SkyTrain is so convenient to ride on.
I mean, to be fair, I think their bus system was way better than where I live.
Oh yeah, 100%.
I don't think it was revolutionary, but at the time when they would announce like what stop they were going at, I thought that was fantastic.
Right? Yeah. Or like the fact that everybody would line up at the front of the bus so that the people and the people on the bus already would get off at the back. Mm-hmm. It was like the thing with the escalators at the mall. It blew my mind that everybody was so courteous about, hey, if you're standing on the escalator, you stand to the right, and if you're walking up or down, you go on the opposite side. And I'm like, why don't more people do this? Like,
it was crazy.
Everybody's so courteous. Like, hello, people, take a page out of Vancouver's book.
It was weird. Because, I remember we were downtown and we just saw this perfect line of 4 people. Mm-hmm. And I was like, what the fuck? But the bus, like, pulled up exactly where all the doors were, or the people were lined up, and they all just got on the bus. And I was like, that is insane.
Yeah, right? And they had, like, maybe you still could do coins, but, like, I just remember also, like, having the ticket passes, and you just, like, put the ticket in the slot. You didn't need, like, coins or anything, which was awesome.
Fucking great. The escalator reminds me of the time, I think it was either second or third quarter, so we'd been in Vancouver for quite a while at that point, and I was standing on the right-hand side, and this, like, lady was like, man, and was, like, trying to get up, and I was like, you obviously aren't from around here.
Yeah.
This is how this works, okay? Fuck off. Like, bejeebus.
Right?
I liked living in Vancouver. It was dope.
Me too.
Good.
It was so convenient just having, like, you had the mountains and the beach and, like, the forested areas, and then you had, like, right? Oh, man, the beach was so good.
That was a good summer, too, because we didn't have, like, a heavy class load, like, at all.
Mm-hmm.
I think, we also just watched Supernatural all summer and then went to the beach.
Yep, that's true.
All we fucking did. It was great. And then next semester was like a hellhole. But, up until that point, it was great.
It was great. Yeah, it was the calm before the storm.
Oh, boy, what a storm it was.
Oh, yeah. Would you say, well, like, which of the locations... I guess this is kind of a vague question, but if you could think, like, which of the locations that we, like, would go to either for... like a short film that we were doing, or a project, or just like Stanley Park or whatever. Like, what was your favorite place we went to in Vancouver?
My favorite place?
Yeah.
I mean, like, I could answer we went to White Rock, where, Arrow was filmed. That was pretty dope.
Yep.
Although, I nearly drowned, and the bus or the car broke down, and I had to take a taxi back to school. That wasn't too bad fun. I mean, lame answer. I just liked coming to school.
Yeah.
It was just like such a simple commute, and then like that entire area was just like, if we had to film, like we had to do like film exercises, we just filmed around there a lot. We had a lot of good food options there. Like, we had McDonald's, there was Subway, there was the pizza place, the Chinese restaurant, like it was all like had good stuff around it.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, actually, even like where our student res was not a bad place. I mean, it was a bit of an uphill walk, so groceries were a bitch to carry, but I loved doing our late night bingos run.
Yes. Okay, funny story. So in high school, I used to do choir.
Yeah.
And so we went to Vancouver twice because the way it was set up, it was a little unfair. So when I was in grade 10, it went little trip, big trip, little trip. But my brother, of course, joined. So he got a big trip in grade 10, a little trip in grade 11, and a big trip in grade 12. Which I would have preferred. But, beggars can't be choosers. So both for our, like, little trips to Vancouver, we always ended at this church, and we did, like, karaoke and pizza in the basement.
Oh, yeah.
Which I just thought was weird, but I was like, whatever. So when my dad...
Minus the church, but I mean...
Right? But, like, my dad, when we first, like, went to see where student res was, just to kind of explore the area, I was, like, looking out over to, like, the right of our building, and I was like, Dad, I'm just gonna sound weird, but do you mind driving to the back of that church? Because I was like, I think that's the church, and then he pulls up in the back, because that's where our buses were for choirs, like, we would get in through the back, and I was like, oh my god, this was the church that we came to for both of our trips.
Really? That church that was, like, right beside our res? Really? Yeah. What?
I was like, wow, it was always so cool. Destined.
That's awesome.
Little did I know.
Yeah. Actually, you know what? I was just thinking, I'm sure you've probably told me, and I've probably forgot, just like we forgot that our siblings have the exact same birthday. But how did you come across, like, the Art Institute? Like,
how did I come across it?
Yeah, because, like, for me, it was in Comtech, I think, for all 3 years that I was in high school, there was, like, this Vancouver trip that we'd go on, and it was to the Art Institute for that sweat program. We would take part in it for the week, and that's how I ended up, like, really falling in love with the school and being like, yeah, this is where I want to go. And Rob happened to be my instructor for the
Aw.
2 out of the 3 times that I was there. So it was just kind of funny that worked out. But yeah, I don't remember if you've ever told me how you came across it, or if I did, I forgot. So you should say it again.
I should say it again.
Tell us the story.
I'm trying to think. So I think I applied. So end of high school, I think as everybody goes through I don't know what the fuck I'm doing. How the fuck am I supposed to do anything at this point? I think I only applied for one school, I think, and that was SAIT. But I ended up not getting in because I don't know if their programs changed, but it was like very strict because I think I showed up like when I went for like kind of like the orientation / like testing phase to see if I would make it into the program.
Yep.
There was like 50 or 70 of us. And apparently, because I just thought it was just all of us who applied, but apparently we were only group 2 of like 7. So there was like over 180 kids who applied or something. And there was only 20 seats available.
Wow.
And 2 were for international students. So so there was like, right? So like I was fighting with like 18 seats. And I mean, not really important, but like the questions they asked me were dumb. They were stupid. I remember because like the first couple were like pretty standard, like, what's the time you were a leader and blah, blah, blah. But I just remember this last one because it was like you're going on a trip and your Jeep gets stuck in the mud and like how you would get out of it.
I think I recall a question like that.
Yeah. And I was just so, at that point, I was just so done. So, like, I kind of went a little crazy because they were like, you have some empties in the back. So I was like, well, hopefully we have a milk jug. I'll just cut that into like a shovel, grab a stick and just shovel the mud out. If not, I'll use my hands. I don't care. And then I just remember leaving being like, well, that was dumb. So then I kind of took like a year off kind of. And then I think it was at a fair of some kind.
Oh, like a job fair?
Yeah, because I remember going downtown with my dad, and that's where I met one of the admin people, and we got to know him. And then, because I remember, weird thing is, because I think that at the time, he was like, oh, you can start school because the way the program is set up, right? Like, it's done in quarters, so you could technically start in, what was it, like March, or middle of summer, or October?
Yeah.
And so I was kind of like, well, I'm going to go for the October one. And I think, because although my dad was like, oh, maybe you should go for the one right away. And I was like, nah, I'd rather like wait. I can save up some more money, yada, yada, yada. Yeah, I applied. And then what's his nuts said, a mid guy from the Art Institute was like, well, how about you come this March for the sweat program? And then like we were reading about it and I was like, oh, this is if you're in high school. And I'm no longer in high school, but they like made an exception so I could go to the program.
Oh, nice.
So I too did the sweat program in March, and then I was like, yeah, I think I like this. So then I applied and then I got in.
Nice. Which of the categories did you do in the sweat program?
I don't remember,
unless they changed it, because like for me it was like you could do like the first one I did was like, I want to say like After Effects type stuff. So we did a lot of green screen and things like that. And then music video was the last 2 I think I did, because they didn't really have like a full on just film and TV thing. But yeah. I
mostly just remember like we were split into groups, and that's pretty much how we spent the week, was you were with your group, and I believe we just made a project, and they kind of gave us a crash course on like everything. Although I think that one thing they may have not done was editing. Because I don't remember any of us editing our final video, but our kind of guide leader, who was still going to school there at that time. So it was really funny coming. And I was like, oh yeah, hey, you were my instructor. And he's like, yep, still going to school. I was like, cool. What's up, man? Yeah, I don't remember us getting those. Maybe we did get those options, but I definitely don't recall it. I just recall we all, just were in our groups and we had to make a video.
Nice. Did you end up going to the orientation that was like the month before, or like a couple months before school actually started?
I don't think so. I remember me and my dad drove, and I think we just we showed up kind of like that, maybe like a week before.
Oh yeah.
Not even, just to get into res. And I remember like I had messaged a couple of my roommates. We were sharing pictures of what we were bringing. And then immediately like one of them just like picked me. I was like, oh, you must be Kaylee. And I was like, who are you? I was like, what's happening?
Oh, when you got there?
Yeah, I was like,
yeah, the same thing happened to me too. Yeah, I remember that. My dad and I got out of the Jeep, and all of a sudden I heard, Kendra, and it was Eliza. And she was standing with Simeon and Kim and Eric, I think. And they recognized me because we like friended each other on Facebook and we're like emailing back and forth beforehand. So like, obviously like, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So she's like, yeah, oh, it's you. Yeah, we're your roommates. I'm Eliza. And I'm like, oh, hey. And then she like introduced me to everybody. And I was like, okay, I guess we're just going along now. Cool. Okay.
It was funny. I remember even before going to school, I was like, man, if I can just make one friend, I'll be good.
Me!
I set that bar so low for myself. I was like, I don't know how I'm going to... Honestly, I'm genuinely surprised I even still did it because it's just like, I don't think I'm very good socially. So I'm just like, oh my God, this is so overwhelming. So much change.
I don't think you give yourself enough credit. You're a pretty social person. You've got the charisma, so that's where the social aspect comes in. Like it's hard to be the one to kind of like, you know, initiate some stuff, but if you get yourself going, you're like, and people are like, wow, Kaylee's so cool, I want to hang out with Kaylee.
Pop it. Right? Yeah, because I remember in high school, like, I don't know what was it. It was like either 10 or 11. Like, I was like trying to get more out of my shell. So I was like trying to talk to more people. But like, I just found like, and to be fair, like thinking about it now, I was maybe being a little too stubborn / I don't know what the word is. Maybe you can think of it. Because for me, it was like a really big deal to try to talk to other people.
Mm-hmm.
And some people are just talented with small talk, you know?
Yeah.
And I was like trying my best, but it just felt like people didn't want to talk to me.
Mm-hmm.
So eventually I hit this brick wall where I was just like, you know what? If no one wants to fucking talk to me, I don't want to fucking talk to anybody.
Aw. I totally get that though.
Right? But now like thinking back on it, it's like I said, I don't know what word I'm trying to think of. Like maybe like they were kind of in my same boat where maybe they just didn't really want to talk maybe. So even
or they were kind of awkward, like they wanted to but didn't know how to kind of keep the conversation going.
Right? But like I perceived it as like they don't want to talk to me.
Yeah.
And in my mind, because I am trying my best, like I was like, I don't know what more I can do.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So like, you know, not sure where I was going with that, but yeah.
No, that totally makes sense. And I guess that's just kind of the nature of the beast. Is just you try your best and you kind of, it's like fishing, right? You have to throw your line out there and just hope that something catches it. So it sucks sometimes, but hey, then you know one day somebody comes up and comments on your camera and says, hey, I've got a camera like that. That's cool. Then you start up a conversation about cameras and then hey, the rest is history.
You end up going to a party and then you're like, well, here it goes. Yeah, because it was always my roommates who were like, we should go out. We should talk to more people. And I was like, I'd like to stay in my bubble, please. I don't know. Is this safe? Like, I don't know, guys. I don't know. But yeah, it was definitely my roommates who helped me like get out and be like, hey, you should talk to people.
Yeah.
Because there was somebody else in our building who was in the film program. And so my roommate was like, yo, you should talk to her. She's in your program. And I was like, oh my God, leave me alone. Please. I just want to be in my bubble.
And then it changed you for the better, hopefully.
Made me a very bitter person. Just kidding. It's definitely hard.
It is.
Like, I feel in some aspects I've gotten better, but I'm still very much like, I need my own space.
Yep. And there's nothing wrong with that, because I feel like the older you get, the more you start to like kind of, or figure out like who, or the type of people you want to surround yourself with too.
Yeah.
You don't just want to like be kind of like throwing everything out to everybody and just, you know, being like, oh, I have to be friends with everybody just because I need that sociability. But it's like,
right.
No, like you want the people who truly, genuinely want to hang out with you and love you for you, and they're not just like, oh, well, I know you because you can give me this, right?
Yeah.
Or like, I can get something from you. It's like, no, I genuinely enjoy your company. I think you're funny. I want to hang out with you, and we have fun like working together and stuff like that, and doing projects. So we have a lot in common that way. So yeah.
Oh, Kendra, please stop. Man, though, I don't know, man. Like, I don't know how people do it. Like, that just seems exhausting to me. Try to be friends with every single person.
Or just being a, like, really, like, very social person. Like, I can be a friendly person, but I could not just, like, start up a conversation with, like, everybody I meet, like, randomly. I'd just be like,
I always love those questions on, like, questionnaires or something where it's like, are you likely to go up and talk to a stranger? I'm like, no. What? I also, like, read way too into a situation. I'm like, well, why am I talking to this stranger? Like, am I lost and I need to figure out where I'm going on transit? Like, then maybe the probability's higher. You know, Are we just talking about, oh, I'm going to strip a conversation with you just because? No, I don't think so. Or maybe...
Yeah, or this person's, like, hiding in the back of an alley, dark alley somewhere.
And you're like, sir, what are you doing? Sir, sir or madam, what are you doing?
Do you need assistance?
Right? I always find those questions so bizarre. They're like,
I know,
how likely are you to talk to a complete stranger? I'm like, what is the context of this? Because the answer is no.
Yeah.
But, like, in different scenarios, like, yeah, maybe it's different. Maybe you're lost, or, like, I don't fucking know.
Yep.
I just find them really odd.
Yeah, or, like, the ones that ask, like, are you... I don't know why it bothers me, but, like, it's like the ones who are like, are you an introvert or an extrovert? And I'm like, well, I don't want to, like, I don't know you can really define somebody that way. Like, I'm sure there are probably people who lean more one way or the other, but, like, I like my alone time, but I still like to talk to people or, like, go out and do things, but that doesn't mean I'm, like, fully an introvert. So, like, how can you really classify somebody as one thing or the other?
Because you can.
Because we like to label things as a society.
Right? Isn't there also, like, extra introvert or something where it's, like, your qualities of both?
Yeah, where you have, like, the qualities of both.
Which I feel like, I mean, I assumed that people do. I thought they shared both qualities, but...
Yeah. I think it's, like, situational and just, yeah.
Right. I think just learning through the pandemic, then, like, how many people are like, no, like, I need to be with people 24/7. No, I need to be at these parties. I'm like, I see.
Yeah.
You're clearly not meant for isolation.
Yeah.
I see. I think I'm wrong, but I think it's called the Briggs-Meyer test.
Myers-Briggs, yeah.
Yeah, where it, like, breaks you down into even more categories to help you out. Because at least then it's, like, as, you know, you're in either A or B.
Yeah, it kind of gives you goes more into depth on, like, the different ends of the spectrum. There's another test that I took, too, which I find is cooler than the Myers-Briggs one, but it's like a company called 16 Personalities, and it's the same thing where you take a bunch of questions, but they kind of give you more of, like, It's less, like, analytical, I think, or just less, like, it seems more fun, because it's like, oh, there's the campaigner, or the mediator, or, like, the virtuoso, or whatever, and then it gives you, like, celebrities that are of the similar personality types, and it breaks down each of the letters for you, and, like, characteristics you might have, and stuff like that. Right. So I thought that one was cool.
I just like reading my horoscope and being like, wow, that is horribly wrong. Although they're always fun to read because they're like, yes, you're super passionate about the world. Nope. Nada.
I get a kick out of, there's this app called CoStar where it's the same thing where you learn how to, or you not you learn, but you read your horoscope and stuff like that, but it, like, breaks it down into, like, other things. And then, so the last thing's like, don't do, like, spicy foods or shades or
don't do shades,
backstabbing, and then do, like, spa treatment, aesthetically pleasing. And I'm like, wow, what? Like, no, don't tell me what to do.
I always feel it's like the same shit though, and to some degree, right? Like, it is like either like for today, either be a better person or treat yourself, and then the other one's always just like, don't be bad.
Yeah.
Like, they're so vague, and you're like, okay.
Yeah, but this one just seems ridiculous, because it's like, today, don't do pumpkin spice lattes, and it's like, well, I don't drink coffee, so I wouldn't anyway, but like...
What if I wanted to?
Right?
What's the harm if I do?
The universe will implode.
Just, like, fucking choke and die. And then your ghost was like, shit, I should have listened.
No.
I don't know. They're always fun. They're always, fun for a read, but never take too seriously.
No.
But I mean, if that's your jam, I guess that's your jam, and have fun doing all the backstabbing and spa days you like.
With pumpkin spice lattes. You do you.
You do you.
Well, on that note, I think we should probably wrap this episode up.
Sounds good to me, girl.
Well, everybody have a great Tuesday. Be safe. Be kind. Watch all the content. Play all the games. And we'll see you next episode, I guess.
Yes.
Any final thoughts?
Always have a safety bush.
Yeah. Oh, yes. The safety bush.
Have a safety bush. We will not fill you in on the joke. But just have a safety bush. Goodbye.
Goodbye.
Monkey.
Monkey.
And slap.